Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hope you all are doing just fine. Did you all sleep okay? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Keeper. Thank you for getting first. Good morning, Kimizu. Thank you for getting second. Good morning, Yoro Frosty. Thank you for getting third. Now, oh wait, we should do the thing, shouldn't I? Do you want a softer mic this morning? Or is the mic volume good? Now I remember to turn that off. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for the follow. Do we want a softer mic? Or is this good for today? Good morning, Moreau. Arf, arf. I'm such a cute little puppy. Good morning, Palmo. Good to see you. Good morning, Lynn. Links. Good morning, Shay. Mwah. There's the kiss you requested. I think Gary said good morning, Moreau, but if I did not, good morning, Moreau. Good morning, Mitchie. Good morning, Palmo. I think I keep rereading names at this point. Oh, good morning, Lilybad. I see you there. I'm sorry you woke up to your mother's music. Hopefully it wasn't something too aggressive. Today is a Sleepy Jean day. Now, chat, we can have the mic like this, or we can have the mic like this. Do you like the first or the second more? Which do you prefer, chat? We'll do one then. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, where were we? Shay, you're such a good little bunny, aren't you? Always such a good little bunny. So, this morning, I just wanted to point out that I think it's funny that I say this stream is for y'all to wake up slow and to wake up slow with me. But would you like to know how I wake up in the morning? The way I wake up is by blasting metal music. This morning I woke up to the song Wait and Bleed by Slipknot. And I had it set for exactly the time stream started. Unfortunately, Microsoft thought it would be funny to give me a bunch of little updates and be like, hey, do you want to do a backup? Are you sure you don't want to do a backup? Do you want to sign in and give us access to all of your files? And so it took me a little bit to start this morning. But it was a good way to wake up because I feel like it got me really ready to go. Instead of normally where I wake up and I realize I've slept through most of my alarm. Mitchie, by the way, I do love the picture you did with me as a lovely, lovely little pup. It's very cute. And I love the little black tuft of fur in the front. Adorable. I don't get angry at my phone. What I do is I go to my phone and I say, hey, phone, turn off alarm, wake me up later. But then sometimes I'll forget to tell it to wake me up later. And so I say, hey phone, ignore me. And then it shuts off and I stay asleep. Now this morning we're going to be playing the game called Citizen Sleeper. Oh, okay. Be good, Mitchie. And Moreau, how's little Jean doing? Rammstein. Rammstein might be a little bit too intense. Not saying that Slipknot is any less intense. I just like his voice a little bit better. I'm super excited to see him, Moreau. Now, good morning, Bleeding Heart. How you doing today? You're from yesterday, I believe. Isn't that right? And this morning we're going to be playing Citizen Sleeper. It is a point-and-click story game. Pretty chill. Where we play a sci-fi robot. So let's get that going. Yeah, it's like mine had spread. That's time, chat. Let's do this. Shay, did I already call you a good bunny? If I didn't, Shay, you're such a good bunny. Yes, it is. Sorry for that being so loud. I'll turn that down a bit more. There we go. Is the game too loud, chat, or are we good? There we go. That should do. There we go. Okay. Mini Gene has some cracks. I do think it's funny that it's called Mini Gene. Alright. We're first gonna do some little bit of roaming. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp 1,000 cycles ago. Oh, I don't like how loud that is. 1 second, chat. There you go. True. True. I suppose you're right. I suppose you're right. I'm trying so hard to get this exactly where I want it. That'll do. That'll do. Thank you for the follow, Dark. How you doing? I appreciate the follow. As you drift back from the known, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Stay still. As you drift back from the node, wait, please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? And the shape paces around you on lithe legs. Though there is no ground to pace on, entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, SNARP. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature, of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. The figure halts. Its threads. Have a good one, Keeper. Hi. Good morning. Sayori. Its hands twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You're an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of you, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotund. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing. A spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. A Heaven Age member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. Unlock. Data extracting. Okay. But good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? And Palma, I'm sorry I'm putting you to sleep. I hope it's not too bad. Mm. I don't believe I have data yet. I'll still need to find more Solheim data. Because if you completely fall asleep, that'll be no good, will it? Thank you for the hydrate, Kendra. And good morning. How are you doing today? And the stretch. Let's see. Scrap freight. Oh, what's this? Let's buy some scrap. Nice. Gonna lull to sleep today? No, the goal is that I wake you up very slowly. You can't fall asleep. No, don't fall asleep on me. All right. I'm gonna try to sell one scrap and see what happens. Interesting. No, that's fair. That's fair. Let's try this out here. Oh, enjoy your art, Lily. Lily, you did great with your art. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Hmm. Go get some food. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends us out warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Hmm. Looks like there's something to do here. Oh, we're gonna need a lot of money for the stabilizer. Who knew? And we'll buy this last bit of scrap. Really? Well, I would absolutely love that. The freight are eager to pay off. I'm going to try this, though I feel like it's going to be... No, that can only go bad. Let's not do that. I love art. I love all art. People draw me or they draw others. Makes me very, very happy. You can add all the blips you want. That's up to you. I'd never stop you. Mm. Alright, that's that. I think my main goal here, there we go, that's what we're looking for. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red, blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker, they flicker across scorched hole plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands on the side, focusing on the hulking ship as it was lowered into the yard. What is it? That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up. And now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think what happened to the crew. What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friend to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern. He shrugs. The ship creaks like a calvining iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of the dented hull. Watching you, wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion. Locked inside that container, the wreck of the Estenarp freighter lowered onto the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth? Into the strange station. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Soft-spoken gaming. Good morning, Shrek. How you doing? Good morning, Echo. How you doing? Hope you slept well. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much for the follow, Yellow Flash. Hope you're doing well. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passages. You've completed your first drive. Each drive complete unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow buttons at the top right of the screen. Alright. Now what should I spend this on? Not sure yet. Predictive reasoning, a dice action displays potential positive and negative outcomes. Oh, that'd be nice. Thrill Seeker, chance to get it. Oh, instant karma would be really nice. Yes. That's true. Anyways, you don't have to deal with that. That wasn't that easy, chat. Why even come to the ASMR category if you're not wanting soft-spoken? Mm-hmm. Alright, where were we? How are you doing today, Yellow Flash? Is your day going okay? Alright, one last thing before we end this cycle. Solheim. Let's see if we can break in. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. Make me some chili too, please. Oh, is my voice too quiet today? One second. Testing, testing. Oh. You make me nervous, Pomo. Not too much. But the road is known for handling deeper voices. With a squawk of noises, the old gate flips open, granting access. Solheim known. You're good, Pomo. There's nothing to worry about. You're fine. I appreciate you. A Solheim daemon attempts to protect this node, squeaking out protective protocols like a mantra. Solheim data acquired. And that means we can go talk to this man and see what he'll give us for the data. A little bit of money, a step forward. Very nice. Another day. That is incredible. What is this? Oh, there's no way we did that well. That is 3 guaranteed successes. That's insane. Is there anything that needs something? It needs a 6? LuckyJene strikes again. You're right about that one. The node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial place, abandoned by the hacker who repurposed it. Some gang enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. Having to draw data. Oh, and we don't have anything we can put in here, right? No. Eventually, eventually. Oh well, I do at least have a 3 that I can throw into one of these. Bye, Moreau. Enjoy making your food, okay? Well, there we go. We'll do one of these. The notice leaking corrupt contractor list from the early days of the system's Palladium Rush. And we'll do, I think, this one here, which is a 3. The note is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. And another one. Hi, Goose. Good morning. How are you doing today? Let's see what bad things Drago's nerves. Ooh. Ooh. Investigate the winter light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay you, but you may find answers. Well, I do like that. We do need money, chat. Do we 50-50 it? Oh. Wait. Oh, do you get that's adorable. I'm sorry you get scared. It went pretty well. It went very well, actually. We did well, I think. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of this one as well. And we got a scrap item. Mitchie's good at screaming at the game. That's very true. I wouldn't say they're necessarily good at the game. Yay, we're a fungus fan, chat. Your mouth stings as the sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Sleeper, Emphys calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you in the cycle. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils as you think about the kind of story you'd like to tell, Emphys. You look at Emphys, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps you'd enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphys, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they sleep. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. Well, maybe we'll have to play a horror game sometime. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal after images of systems and structures of threads and patterns. This is my real voice, Jay. Do you believe I took it from somebody else? Weren't like others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. It's true. It's true. You're right, Dusty. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interference, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. Yes. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or a particular quality of the frame you inhabit. Thank you for the follow, Dusty. I hope you have a good time here. How are you doing today? Whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little. You are quite the storyteller. Actually, chat, we're going to move me real quick so y'all can read as well. There we go. Well, thank you. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been with your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gracefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, sleeper. He looks around at the empty market. But my time is done for the day, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I'll make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients behind the stall. These aren't good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you can handle the trip. Perhaps. I'll prepare them for you, and, if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Morning, Amdis. Consider it. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I'll prepare a recipe then, sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seemed more than fair. Oh, I absolutely love that character. Oh, and I still don't have enough to get across. I wonder. Can I get enough just by selling scrap? There are quite a few very comfy games. There we go. That should be enough to make it over to the next area. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, Yutagan has imposed toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. Oh. Well, hopefully you want to fall asleep. You hand over your chits to the Yatagan enforcer, and he nods you through. Interesting. We'll check it out the next day. This is an RPG. This is called Citizen Sleeper. The idea of the story is you have sold yourself to a corporation, and they've loaded your consciousness onto a robot that has been forced to do labor. At one point, when your freighter crashed that you were on, you decided to escape. You snuck out and barely survived and was found by a scrapper on this massive ship. They told you that You are falling apart. That the corporations put planned obsolescence into your body. So the longer you are away from the corporations, the less you'll function. But so far we found somebody who can find us a stabilizer, which allows us to last a little bit longer. And we're eating food, which we just need for energy, though we really can't taste much of it. Yes, yes, very much so. It's free on the Xbox Game Pass. So if that is something you have, feel free to go try it out. There's 2 versions of this game, well, number 1 and number 2. And I will probably be playing the second one once we get there. Oh, it's okay, cat. You take it easy, okay? Wait, what is this? The free spoke. The spoke is layer after layer after layer of dense urban fabric. The only way to explore it is vertically. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There's no maps here. Blistering with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from outside. The climb requires bravery. Interesting. Interesting. I kind of want to try this out. And whenever we have one of these actions here, they're either danger, risky, or I don't know what other options there are yet. I haven't seen many. But our dice determine how well we will do. Hopefully this one goes well. Not bad. But it doesn't give me any benefit, and I'm going to need to get a new stabilizer soon, so I think I'm going to focus on getting that. The network storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system purge. Extracting data. Nice. And perfect. Some gang enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye. Closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you. In that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. Exactly. This is a creature that is in the network. And for some reason, it doesn't like me. You're caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor. Your body. You wake dizzy, Distorted but safe. Let's check this one out as well. All right. And now we go and sell the data. Yay, data selling. Feng will pay you well for solemn data you dredge up. Feng's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits before and waves you off. The orb appears to be looking for sentience. Yes, you can. As you are here, your body is slowly decaying, and you are slowly starving. The dice along the top also represent your condition. The worse your condition, the less dice you have, and eventually, you will just fall apart. Okay. And Fang should have something new for us now. But yes, the ship we're on is significantly older than most of the people that are here, and has been put together from scrap and other materials found. The programs that keep it alive and running are just kind of made to function. Honestly, it's kind of terrifying to imagine that we're surviving on a ship that we can barely control. And so what we're doing is delving into the network to find more information on the ship and bringing it back to the sky. And whatever old little security program is out there is what's hunting us, I think. So far we've been eating mushrooms. I think it can eat anything so long as it can burn it for fuel, is what I'm imagining. It does mention that we barely taste it, though. We only taste the pain sensors of spice, really. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Hi, Aura. Lovely to see you. And I believe in your Moreau. You got this. Shit hands. Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on metal casings. These snaky shit hens. Who's snaky? Sleeper. Fang's smiling head pops up from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Have y'all ever been in a server closet that's done really badly? I know exactly what the game's talking about. I worked at one place a long, long time ago where you can tell that people just kept adding more cables until things worked. And it was a mass of Ethernet cables, so long they would spread across the floor. And if ever you wanted to connect something new, you had to lay on your back to get underneath the cables to look up to see if you could find an empty port. I actually injured my knee on a cable like that because I tried to kneel down and the cable hit right between the soft part of your knee. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at the monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheim? Bingo. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one, this snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with his finger. The name reads Hardenhurst. Oh, that sounds awful. I hope you can at least put down carpet. Who's Harden? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardenhurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on the station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Harden was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they connected out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure, which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back to Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the string of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They in Solheim canteens worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air. Good morning, Worry. How you doing? And slept in Solheim beds. Thank you for the follow-on. I greatly appreciate it. And the work they paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt. Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in a long line of freelance contractors, willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. One sec, Jack. I'm gonna take a little drink. Good morning, Lan. How are you doing today? This guy stabbed me at Harden once again with his finger, strategized all of that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, it's still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they're big time. There's a lot of money can get you if you are a company man. Fang relaxes a little. But how is Harden still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're gonna go find out. Harden's now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back from the Eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower Eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Of course. You lurk, you relax. I hope you enjoy the reading. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. It's called a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardenhurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, They sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? You up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang, digging through data, among the wires and machines of old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eyes it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Arden. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured in from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line somebody else's pockets. It's an idea you're intimately familiar with. You think of Arden, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. All right. Let me see. Havenage, that's what we're looking for. Can I throw a 4 on there? No, of course not. Looks like we'll have to wait another day before we can even try that one. Shipbreaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up for it. There we go. A little more money. A little closer to getting a stabilizer. I just hope we can get there before we run out of food. End to another day. See, the problem we're having right now is I'm also being hunted. And being hunted, you might be surprised. Not the best thing to be. Havenage members broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. Hi, Lilybad. What are you up to? That's exactly what we needed. Oh, what are the chances? Where, oh where? Did they go? Oh, I had a snack. Nice, I hope you enjoyed the snack. Not there. Here. That's what we're looking for. This gate keeps traffic out of the Havenage shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher can grant you access. You slot the Havenage cipher, the gate flips, you're in. And in goes the Ripper Worm. An open port sits waiting for you to slot in a Ripper Worm. What will you find there? Hi, Chubbo. How you doing, Chubs? The worm slots in, begin tunneling down the thread. Godspeed, little one. And back to Fang we go. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have to wait. Oh, this might be close. We're being hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long until they arrive. Okay. I'm also a bit tired. I'm also a bit tired. But I'm doing alright. Alright. Let's help out this guy. Let's get the maximum we can get here. Then I want to get some more money my way. Oh, that's not going well. Well, at least we got some money out of it. And I can afford a stabilizer again. Some food. Good morning, Firehawks. Emphasis spiced fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited sensors. Oh! Oh, but he wants the mushrooms. We'll need to be able to find those. It's incredible stuff. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is good stuff. I woke up about an hour ago. And lastly, stabilizer. I'm wondering. I might want to wait a little bit before we become a little bit less stable. I know it's risky, but we use it too soon. Yes. I'll wait the day. How you doing, Firehawk? Oh, and thank you for the hydrate. 1 second. Well, that feels much better. I appreciate it. Okay, we still have... Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh. Crazy how that works, isn't it? I'm worried. We can buy a ship mind fragment. The merchants have acquired a couple of rare shipment fragments. They're selling them at a high price. And I can try to... we're gonna risk it, chat. So much money. So much money. I don't even know if I can sell it yet. Oh no. Had a long day putting in fence posts. Really? I've actually wanted to try putting in fence posts. Not that I'd ever want to do it for, too long, but sounds interesting. Oh, should I worry I bought this ship mine and now I'm gonna have nothing to do with it? Well, maybe it'll be useful eventually. Let's finish up this cutter salvage. We're gonna take a little bit of a risk here. I'm sure it's fine. And we did it. The hull puts up some resistance, but you manage to push through just before your shift is up. Very nice. The final piece of the winter light is sent in neat piles waiting for collection shuttles from the Haven Edge. Dragos managed to sell the remaining pieces of the shipyard, a fact that's hard to forget, as he was telling you about it the past 2 cycles, and all that remains is for Haven Edge to come to collect. You look around at the yard, transformed from when you first arrived. The mostly repaired drones flip back and forth, no longer buzzing unevenly or lost in dark corners, and the scrap is sectioned, sorted. The systems that you and Dragos have put into place over the past cycles paying off. As you look, you notice the glow of a pale light from the office by the entrance. That rundown cab of a building, which houses all records and spare equipment. Dragos must be inside. You get to your feet, walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be here. We're friends, let's walk in. You swing open the door. Dragos flinches. Sleeper, Havenage here yet? He busies himself at the desk. The shipyards told me they'd be here soon. Then they'll hand over the chits and we're set. He writes something with a stylus on a slate and then shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about a bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job is coming, but this should tide you over for now. He opens his hand to reveal a stack of chits. What's going on here? I said it's a bonus. Take it. Dragos presses the chits into your hand. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he's about to say. These chits are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are from me, and they are the last I'm going to give you. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, sleeper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures of Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, sleeper. He pauses, considering his word. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. What do you know? Dragos kicks at the floor, frustrated with himself. I'll not be saying any more, sleeper. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winter light, desiccated, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, sleeper. That should have been you, chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. This is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. Kill you? Kill both of us. He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in the dry dock. You think they look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, sleeper, and I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks back to the office. That's it, he shouts, and goes inside. Have fun, Lilypad. The silence hangs in the air, and you leave, with your pockets filled with clinking chits and a strange hollow feeling in your chest. Alright, we didn't finish the other half of the task. We only got the first one done. Oh, well, at least we got the money. Ship mines cannot be built from scratch, but if you have enough salvage fragments, can be reassembled with a fabricator. Why would I want a ship mined? Interesting. Oh, does that mean I didn't get any upgrade points? Aye. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? How was your stream? It's always lovely to see you. Let me give you a little shout out here and make sure I spell your name correctly. The lovely mods are asleep today. What were you playing? What were you doing? Did you have a good morning this morning? I guess I do never know what time it is for you, morning or evening, but I really, really appreciate the raid. Oh, here's the gap. To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass. A practice invented by the spacers moored here. They call it Founder's Ferry. I am doing very, very well. Good morning, Earl Bung. Thank you so much for the rain. Hello, everybody. My name is LuckyJene. I'm a gambler, a writer, a flirt, and soon to be villain. Only C rank, so no worries. Today, we're playing a little bit of Citizen Sleeper, a point-and-click narrative game where I'll be doing a lot of narrations. And Cyan, if you need to raid and run, feel free to do so. But if you'd like to hang out for a little while, please feel free to do that as well. Good morning, FO Alex. Should I just call you Alex? Well, we've lost our best source of income. And now, I need to find a new source of income. No, what a cute emote. It's adorable. I do love that emote. Okay, okay. Tangled network of service passages. I don't think we'll have enough time to really climb. Not before the hunter gets here. And we're still waiting on him. This is all going to be very risky. Maybe we can make some money down here. And let's get a shipbuilder to notice us. You shadow shipbuilder who is impressed with you when you know how to double seal a home plate. He slips you a tip at the end of the shift. Oh, it's so little money. That one might not even be worth it. Alright. We'll buy a stabilizer. Sabina's selling off the case of stabilizers, vial by vial. You haven't been able to talk with them since your last visit. Toshiro takes the chits and hands you a vial. When you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand, and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end is a hard metal strip. A handle. Smack the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207-F. Why does everybody say my hair looks yummy? You're not the first. And then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with ornate patterns of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? For a moment you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing you a message? Time to head to the low end. Oh, we got an upgrade point. Okay. Let's see. I love this one so much, but I wonder if interface is going to be better for us in the long run. Good morning, Cornea. How you doing? There we go. I'm done making the chili now. I just have to wait for 3 hours to add some beans. Well, please save some chili for me. Okay. This is going to be difficult. Good morning, Crow. How are you doing? For now, we rest. We sleep another day. Cornea, 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 you are such a lovely person. You're a fantastic streamer, especially when it comes to ASMR. You're kind and caring, and so very, very lovely. I appreciate you so very, very much. Thank you so much for the redeem. And I hope your day is as lovely as you are. Nia. Good morning, Zinga. How are you doing today? I didn't even realize this was a place I could go, chat. Interesting. Thank you for the follow, old bung. I'm having a lovely morning today. Well, that's amazing. That is amazing. These dice are perfect. I cannot believe I got this lucky. And thank you for the follow, Patricia. How you doing? Good morning. That's okay. I get hit with the stupid stick every day. How do you think I maintain my brand so well? All I have to do is be dumb. Aye, aye, Captain. Exactly. Just Josh. Oh, come on, one of these has to be a 2-star. Where are all my 2s? There we go, that's what we're looking for. I have an edge of members broadcasting on an open network here, leaving them open for data extraction. Very nice. Good morning, Nikio. How you doing? We may actually do a little bit of a longer stream today. I may need to pause in about 30 minutes to get things set up for my workday, but we may go an extra half hour because I've been enjoying this game a lot. It is fun hair, isn't it? Oof. I am so worried about that. Alright, let's see if we can make some money somehow. Thank you for the follow, greatly appreciated. And Lan, thank you so much for the subscription. Do we play the exchange? Only 19 cryo. Here we go. Let's risk things. Play Tavla. The clack of the filtered caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end as the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. You duel with a sharp-eyed teenager, blocking each other with careful moves. You win, and the crowd chatters, clearly impressed. You duel with a sharp-eyed teenager, blocking each other with careful moves. You win, and the crowd is clearly impressed. There we go. Welcome back, Cat. Good morning, Nex. And good morning. Grow. Don't hit yourself. Be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. Training, but no more videos to watch at least. Just Buttery Jean's voice. Oh, I appreciate it. Alright. We are as best as we can be. I don't know what's going to happen in this next day. This might be the end. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. He's got a gun. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket. You immediately know he's terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put. He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eye off you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people pull most of my contracts out of the asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Stay silent. He reaches over to slide the rings around you. Go easy. Make a break for it. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking away and sprinting down the corridor. The shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze. Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you and starts walking to the ship and home. Hi, and thank you for the stretch. Good morning, Emma. We can work this out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNR right away. The tracker of yours makes this too quick. Was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase. A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in low end. Thank you for the follow, Lost. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SMR tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. It's better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? We are in one of those lawless joints in the surrogate systems. We're heading for the exit. He pauses and trudges on in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns to face you. I like him too. You run or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or you scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles. You come meet me at this establishment of my choice. Every few cycles, you pay my tab. I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay, Han. Sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. Eat your food. And get your sleep. Good night, old bug. Mwah. Pronouns, I, Becca. Oh, and here you go, Becca. Kiss for chat. Mwah. And I go by he, they. Chat, what pronouns do you use? He clicks something at his belt, and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. Aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, the body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. Oh no. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his hands and gun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Okay, this is better than I thought. I wish we'd gotten the tracker done one day earlier. But I like the deal. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see hard nourished. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you are here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring towards shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you ripped. Well done, by the way. Oh yeah, good morning, Moss Dwarf. We're actually going to be going a little bit longer this morning. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of the compound he hides in. Fang takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Good morning, Toss. Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard. Biggest commission haven has ever had. Hank slows and slips into the dark service tunnel where somewhere in the back a water pipe drips. It's him, sleeper. The same Arden Hurst. A worm ripped out decades of records that mentioned it by name. An entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. Thank you for the hydrate. How you doing, Tosh? He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. Need you understand something about Solheim, Sleeper? I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day, and next, Erlin's Union took power. Be good, Pomo. Have a good one, and thank you for the hydrate. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The bank got smaller, the cost higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop. And as a new wave of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot license. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged in court cases in the central systems, while the severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2A. Young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. Good morning, Abu. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in the MEV and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng paused in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black, apart. Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning, from shits like Harden. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng started walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut around the shipyard. This time he catches up with him. This time his past catches up with him. How's he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoined the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flash of plasma torches. The entrance of the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it, Sleeper? You coming or not? I'm coming. Feng grins. Let's go show this shit had some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance, pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex. Snatches of construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses. Skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going. Before long, you cross into a huge dry dock, locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. Aura. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast spaces so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seem to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry. And at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, and a shock of gray hair. Harden. You and Feng say the name in unison, and Feng sits off up the staircase of the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done through the dock, and Harden nodding along. Harden nursed, Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes, Hardin asks, quizzically. Raising an eyebrow, he glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Hardin. A solemn executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady and strong. All right, chat. I'm going to step away for about 5 minutes while I go fill up my water, get my work computer set up, and then we'll see if we can do a little bit longer of a stream. So I'm going to go to the be right back screen. We're going to set a little timer, and I'll be right back, and then we can finish off this little story here, okay? Mwah. And we're back, my lovely, lovely, lovelies. I hope you all have been enjoying the stream. It's been a lot of fun getting to, hang out with all of you, getting to play these games. I know it's non-traditional ASMR, but, it's been nice. But I want you all to know. Lan, would you like to be called a good girl? If you consent to it, I will happily call you a good girl. Lan, you're such a good girl. Such a good girl. And thank you so much for the redeem. Your voice is the ASMR. I appreciate that. I always worry that other people in the ASMR category are gonna be upset that I'm not doing the kind of ASMR they do. Oh, and a stretch? Of course. Alright, where were we? Go for it. I just started actually voice acting. If you go to my Twitter, you can hear my demo reel, but it's a bit more energetic than I'm wanting to be this morning. Arf, arf, I'm such a cute little puppy. Arf, arf. Not a dog, though. Jay. Jay. You're such a bad girl. Such a bad girl. Thank you for the redeem. But yes, I'm doing a little voice acting. I just started. Hopefully it goes well. You stand for everything the I was rebuilt in the shadow of. Against everything Erlen stood for. Everything Havendage stand for. You have no place on the station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Thank you for the hydrate, thank you for the stretch. Enjoy your lunch. And thank you for the lurk. Hope you're doing okay, Ocean. Mwah. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the other nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Fenn's clothing. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Fang and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As he begins speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you if not exactly that? He looks around at the group. Thank you, Abu. Who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You're a product of SNARP. You have no place in Haven Shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I'm systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I'm asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for the proper review? Gonna pour some water real quick. He shakes his head. I've nothing to hide. Unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots in the walkways coming from all angles at once. Then, settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels. Then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their side. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead. You can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws a weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Calm, Fang. You look at Fang. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Fang, and pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Sorry, where was I? Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket. He takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set point around the ring. Got him, mutters Fang. What is that? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We're tracking his outgoing messages. Fang grins, looks ghostly in the uplit... Fang's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough, and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see a web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from the point to point. All these dots, these are Hardin's buddies, the ones he's messaging right now, and we're gonna find them all. That was on purpose? Of course. Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper. That's exactly what we need. Good hunting. Bye, Mossdwarf. It's good to see you. I appreciate you coming by. With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. He was supposed to help me with that tracker. Alright, and we need to be here every 4 days. You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. The bill isn't going to be small, isn't? Oof, that's worrying. Abandoned housing unit. A half-built unit looks long forgotten, a project that never made it. With enough scrap, you might be able to slow it up. Oh, I had so much scrap. I regret selling it all now. You find the entrance to apartment. Its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellow plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light on the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Inspect the surfaces. Thank you for the follow, Hoofint. I like your name. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, then to the cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. Go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet. Towards the doorway, through the doorway, is a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Inspect the room. A bunk is tucked into the wall. The blanket's ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of files and containers. A briefcase. Lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. Approach the terminal. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper. Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises. Static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare show my face. Something's happening with Yatagan. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan was supposed to hide me, to protect me after everything happened. I was desperate, and then after that I was too tired to care. A noise like waves pass over the recording, but I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. A pause. Oh wait, but I need insurance so I can hold against them. Yes, but I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This is a threat. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I've been here before. I can help you, but not with the Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data. Get me information. Give me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out and you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with white hiss, then silence. You sit in front of the humming terminal, hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. Seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from, and what debt do they owe Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without the stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk. Its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice a scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. You're right, the story is so very, very interesting. It's so in-depth. There's another game like this that I like a lot called, what is it called now that I think about it? Sunless Sea. And you travel the ocean, you fight other ships, you go into ports, you make choices and decisions. It is one of my favorite games, and I think this game is very similar. Except it's more eldritch horror. Then this one is more of a sci-fi dystopia. I think it might be fun. Maybe that's what these morning streams will be. I've always tried to find a place for my narrative games, and when I played them the first time, trying to share them with people, you know. It's not like a intriguing game, unless you like it, the story. But in an environment like this, or relaxing, we just want to read and speak, I think that's perfect. I might do it. We might play Sunless Sea Chat. I'm kind of excited, actually. Mm-hmm. And it's such a slow-paced game. Good. Okay. I'm excited. I'm actually excited. Right. So I need to find a way to get scrap and to get money, because while we're stable right now, we are struggling a little bit. And we have to wait for him to come back. And we can't afford any of this. Oof. How can I make money? TOs? Oh, here we go. Let's make a little money. And I think we need to gamble a little bit. Thank you for the follow, Nightlight5973. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. You had a stride of good games, amassing a solid stack of chits. In your final game, a decisive defeat. The other player applauds. Let's do it again. The top left room. You had a stride of good games, amassing a solid stack of chits. In your final game, a decisive defeat. The other player applauds. Nice. I'll offer just a little bit more data here. They wanted to gamble too. I get it. And now let's see if we can get some data. Anything worthwhile out here? Ooh, perfect. Some gangs and forces implant are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. You did. You came at the perfect time. All right. So any of these nodes we can hit. There we go. The node pulses faintly as it mines cry out a glacial place, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you. Entity, submit. Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globbed head you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they're broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Upgrades available. Okay, let's see what we want. I think we're gonna go with instant karma. Oh, can I not get instant karma? And I can't get that either. Oh, I need 2 upgrade points. That makes sense. Then I guess we'll wait for now. One last activity. Doesn't give you much. I guess we'll finish this one off here. You duel with a sharp-eyed teenager, blocking each other with careful moves. You win, and the crowd chatters, clearly impressed. Now I want to see if anything else happened with that. Oh, here we go. Caster, cure state offense. You cross between 2 walls of units. One of the cavernous streets at the center of Low End. The pressurized bridge is full of clack of tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper, you turn to see a man sitting at a tavla table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Caster, he says, by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing to the caps, crudely sprayed with white and black. Night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. Let's begin. You take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6. You a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It's unusual to see a sleeper on the eye, so I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. Let's play a little aggressively. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somewhat different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you target his counters, halting his progress, but exposing your caps as you do. I don't mean to offend you. Caster meets your eye. I merely see that you are, by definition, different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He stacks a wall of counters, a boundary you must break. He hands you dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Always. You roll a double 1, and solidify your wall. Caster whistles. The holding game. Commendable. Be brave to build from what came before. He rolls the dice and leaps your wall in a single move. But we cannot idle too long, sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we're caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is living, breathing person. He looks over his glasses. His eyes bright and wide. You split from them, like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they'll awake and carry on with their lives, unaware of your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch, severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Casters before he solidifies control of the game. So what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all this. What does this tangle of truths make you?
Free. Yes. Gaster looks away. The glasses to the crowded units on all sides. I can see that. Aye, pretty lean. Your life as an escapee was never meant to happen, yet here we are. He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Your life is an offshoot. It can go anywhere from here. You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all spaces are blocked. Castor claps his hands apologetically. You play well. Really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel like we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with the last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see. Please. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Hi, little dragon pimp. How you doing? He holds up his palms. And thank you for the follow, Naya. My intention is only to help you endure here. And if I'm able, feed my curiosities. Alright, the game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more. The call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations, they wash over you as you stand and leave. Castor, nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. What are the old guard up to these days? Ooh, we don't have enough data yet. I'm looking forward to that. We now have a pathway. That character was so good. Oh, I love that. There is nothing more than... there's nothing more I love than a game being talked over in metaphor. Classic trope. Always incredible. Always incredible. Another day passes. Looks like we've taken a little condition damage. Oh, but our dice are amazing today. We have the right kind of dice. Let's try and grip some nodes here. Any luck gains? I think we have... Oh, we can go either way. We'll focus on Yatagan this time. Some gang enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. And do we have any others? Oh, not that one. Not that one. There it is. A Havenage member is broadcasting on an open network here, leaving them open for data extraction. There we go. Now some time for some money. Oh, I'm so worried about that bill. That bill is going to be a problem. Also, some food. And noodles and delivery. We'll just gamble a little bit. So we have our guarantee success. You hit stride of good games, amassing solid stack of chances in your final game, a decisive defeat that the player applauds. The Tavlo room in the Tambor house, some of the best players in low end. This is serious, high stakes only play. And there we go. And there's one last one that I want to do. Is it worth the money? It gives me more story, though. You see, the problem I have is I'm so obsessed with stories that I will happily make this game harder for myself if it means I can have another story. And this will give me another story. Hi, Neeks. But, chat, it is 5:57. Oh, I can't go any further. Unfortunately, I will have to end stream here. Oof. And we are just one step away from story. Oh, well, don't choke. So we'll find somebody I can raid into, and we'll play this again very, very soon. Who can we raid? Is this a... Are they doing a rerun, or is this a normal? I think they are live. Sweet. Alright. We'll go raid into the lovely Pomo Chill. They were here earlier. They're going to be doing some ASMR Minecraft. So, we're going to raid them. And do a little. So, last time I tried to raid into them, they were doing a rerun. And here's our little raid message. Perfect. I will go send you over there. You'll be kind, be sweet, and I'll be back later today, 4 p.m. MST. Not sure what I'll be doing, but it'll be something a lot more energetic. Goodbye for now, my lovely, lovely lovelies. Mwah.